We just got a flurry of feedback based on one question that we asked to hundreds of accountants across the United States. The question was, what is the one tool that you use in your accounting firm that has allowed you to save time and be more efficient? So we asked them to narrow it down to just the one tool of all the tools that they actually use. We got some amazing responses. In fact, of the hundreds of CPAs that we got responses from, we had to narrow it down to the top 30 tools. And based on the responses of, we picked 35 accountants that we're going to list here. So a lot of these accountants you've actually heard before. They are huge in the accounting world. Some you've probably never heard of. And the same with the tools. The 30 tools that I'm going to go through today in rapid fire mode are, some tools are very popular. You use them every day. Some you've never heard before. Some I've actually never heard before. And I go through tools like I go through napkins after a cheesesteak. So I'm big into tech, and I love collaborating with various tools to make my life easier. So these 30 tools hopefully can make your life easier. Some of these are actually our competitors, but that's fine. So we're going to try to be as unbiased as possible. So obviously I'm from BizPayO. The list is going to be in alphabetical order, so BizPayO is kind of near the top. Sorry for that, but that's just how it is. So let's go ahead and go through this list and see you on the other side. All right, let's take it from the top. The first one, number one, is Cello. And this one is from Joshua Clark of Financial Fitness. Joshua is killing it over there at Financial Fitness. Great guy, very tech savvy. Joshua says, Cello manages my tasks and records all of the time I work on each client daily. It then allows me to bill easily for all work done, even recording different rates for each client and project, and then exporting to QBO, which is QuickBooks Online. Joshua goes on to say, the program offers numerous options to auto-remind me to follow up on tasks, waiting for action from others, and prevents projects from stalling. He goes on to say a lot more great in-depth stuff. You can definitely check out the blog article, but I'm going to go ahead and go to the next one, which is Audit File. So number two is Audit File, and this one is from David Farnsworth, CPA. David says, I use the tool to perform financial audits, and the tool saves time as the program is one place and it integrates well with QuickBooks Online and Xero. Just a note from me here is a lot of the apps you'll see here actually have integrations with major software like QuickBooks Online. If it doesn't integrate directly, there are workarounds, connectors you can use like Zapier, which is actually at the bottom of our list. I'll talk about it later. So just keep that in mind if you ever wonder about how to work with these tools to make them talk to each other. Let me go on to the next one. Number three is Auto Entry. This one is from David Larry. So my buddy David over at a Cloud Accounting Podcast. If you haven't checked it out, I guarantee you'll love it. It's a really informative podcast. So David says, Auto Entry has allowed me to stop typing any expense-related data into QuickBooks Online. My mantra is to only type sales invoices. He goes on to say, prior to using Auto Entry, I would spend an hour or two a week just typing bills and receipts into QuickBooks Online. I now spend about 5 minutes a week just quickly reviewing to make sure I didn't forget to upload any receipts. Let's go on to number four, BizPayO. So this comment is from John Weldon. He is actually one of our long-term customers over here at BizPayO. And one thing about John, he actually is, he's taken advantage of one of our newer features, which is, so BizPayO is a payment app, but it also allows you to get a review after every payment. So John actually has hundreds of reviews now from customers that have been giving him reviews. All five, I think it's mostly all 5-star reviews. And the thing is, we actually now allow you to, we're starting to stream these reviews that you get over to your Google My Business profile. So every time you get paid with BizPayO, you can actually get those reviews going to Google My Business, which kind of puts your online reputation and rankings on autopilot. But let's just hear it from John. So John says, BizPayO is a payment tool that allows my office to either manually or automatically draft payment for services from a client's bank account or credit cards. He goes on to say it speeds up collections and reduces receivables. I spend less time going to the bank to deposit checks because my clients either pay online or we draft the payments out of their bank account. I'm saving at least 8 hours per week. And then we got one more comment from Christian Lopez over at Makes Sense Capital. He says, this tool allows us to process any fee or recurring pre-authorized payments from our clients in virtually no time. Saves our clients time and spares us collection headaches. BizPay allows us to set up auto payments for future collections as opposed to troubling our clients to send us a payment via traditional methods like paper checks. Okay, next is number 5 is Boomerang for Gmail. Boomerang is amazing. I use it myself. It basically allows you to send out emails and auto follow up. So Stacy Kildell of Kildell Services LLC, she says Boomerang gives us read receipts in G Suite Gmail so that we can make sure our clients are getting messages, schedule emails, and set up recurring emails. It allows us to schedule emails to go out at a future date time to send at times we know that our clients will be more likely to read and respond. We also use it to set up our recurring reminder emails. Before Boomerang, we had no idea if clients were getting our messages and we had to manually send emails based off calendar reminders. Number 6 is Calamy, another tool that I absolutely love. We actually use over at BizPayO to schedule our demos. So this one is from Kathy Groskrith of Bookkeeping Clean and Simple. So Kathy says, the Calamy tool allows me to automate the scheduling of my incoming and outgoing phone calls. I can create separate schedules targeted towards different groups, such as prospects and regular clients. Calamy eliminates the back and forth of selecting a date and time to speak to prospects and clients. I probably save anywhere between 50 to 75% of my time using the Calamy Scheduler. Number 7, Canopy Practice Management. So this one is from Amber Whitehead of Whitehead Tax and Financial Services LLC. Amber gives some really good advice here. She said it allows me to prioritize my tasks. I am a mobile and a virtual tax professional. It can be quite overwhelming to manage clients that are virtual and in person, especially if you are solo like me. Having a software that will allow me to create my own workflow and schedule tasks has been a lifesaver. The next is ClickUp, and this one is from Christopher Manhoff of 4P Finance and Accounting Solutions. Christopher says, ClickUp provides scheduling and workflow automation. It schedules every job, large or small, one time or repetitive, and lets everyone know what's due, how to do it, and when it's needed. It's awesome, and anyone from solo practices to huge firms can use it. The next is Client Hub. Number 9, Client Hub. Client Hub is a client collaboration portal that allows us to consolidate all our client communications into a single shared platform. And that's from Judy McCarthy at Think Leader Consulting. She actually has a lot of great things to say about it. Again, you can read it in the blog. Number 10 is Directory List and Print. So this one is from Joseph Manuel of Manual Forensic and Valuation Services. He says Directory List and Print is a software application that generates a list of the files in a Windows directory. The output is very flexible, but I usually include the file name, file type, and hyperlink to each individual document. So this is not just as a note here, it doesn't pertain just to accountants, but you can use it in so many different kinds of practices. This is a super useful tool. DocuSign. A lot of you have heard of this one. This one is from James Peterson of My Tax Dog. James says allows for remote signature from both potential clients and current clients. It saves hours of tracking down clients for required signatures on both financial and tax documents. It also has shortened the acquisition of and onboarding of clients. The next is Dropbox. I'm sure everyone has heard of Dropbox. This one is from Timothy Sheardy of Sheardy Accounting. He says, the tool allows for the sharing and sending of documents online. Some can be edited, which allows for collaboration. Dropbox is a great tool. I definitely recommend it. Number 13 is InQueue. This is, I guess, a lesser known one, but InQueue, this one is from Nathan Lindholm of Lindholm and Company. And Nathan says, InQueue helps me be more efficient and productive by reducing the hold time to speak to the IRS to no more than 3 minutes. He says, this tool literally adds more time to my day, allowing me to focus on what needs to be done instead of wasting time on hold. There you go. Number 14, Jetpack Workflow. Some great guys over there. We know the founders. They're doing an awesome job. Highly recommend these guys. So this one is from a Jetpack client, Greg O'Brien of Greg Bryan CPA. Greg says, Jetpack is a straightforward workflow software that allows my team to stay in constant communication and myself as the firm leader to see the status of any project and any notes or questions staff may have without getting caught up in an email back and forth. Jetpack drastically cuts down on my review process and emails with my team. Previously, workflow ran out of email, which was not sustainable. I would estimate this workflow software is saving 5 hours per week. The next is Giraffe. This is number 15, and this one is from Blake Oliver over at Blake Oliver CPA. And Blake says, Giraffe is financial planning and analysis in the cloud. As a CPA, I use it to provide dashboards, reports, and financial plans to my clients. There are lots of tools that provide dashboards, but Giraffe goes beyond this by allowing for sophisticated driver-based budgeting and forecasting. It allows me to provide advisory services to my client in a scalable way. The next is Carbon. And this one is from Don Brolin of Powerful Accounting. Hey, Don. Don says, Carbon is a workflow management system that keeps all of our clients' tasks organized. It also allows us to triage our emails in one place and allows us to tag emails to work and contacts in order to have client communications in one spot. We can assign work to each other and communicate through simple tags. The next one, number 17, is going old school, Microsoft Access. This one is from Mark Connor, CPA. He says, automate tedious processes, aggregate copious amounts of data. I made an Access application to do professional quality write-up work. I made another one for a client to aggregate employee time cards and mark up the invoice accordingly. Mark is a pretty technical guy. Access is a really great tool for as a database. It can get pretty technical, even down to a coding level, but there are easy ways to use it as well. Number 18 is Office Tools, and this one is from Brian George of Callas Group. Brian says, this is our workflow management tool. It seals the cracks in my production line and allows me to provide better service. This application keeps staff engaged and productive, and my manager is accountable. Prior, we had lists, Excels on top of Excels. The time saved is the headaches I no longer have. Number 18, Practice CS. This one is from Christina Monfalcone of the of Monfalcone and Garris PC. She says, I use this tool to consolidate the firm's information. We keep up with our time invoicing, historical trends and firm data, due dates, work processes, staff benefits, and insider notes to better know our clients. It keeps us on track and better able to plan for the future. Number 20, QuickBooks Online. So this is the juggernaut here. And a lot of the tools you see here have some sort of integration with it. If it doesn't, again, there are maybe some workarounds so that you can sync to QuickBooks or QuickBooks Online. And so this one is from Vinny Fisher of Fully Accountable. And he says QuickBooks offers free certification classes for our staff accountants. This keeps our employees up to date and helps save time from other from other trainings. There are also several keyboard shortcuts programmed in QuickBooks that allow our staff accountants to save time when they create an invoice, marking an expense, viewing chart of accounts, cutting a cut, and many more. And I'll just cut this here because Vinny brings up a really important point about training. Software that provides some kind of training or help is essential, just to help you to like really easily get started. So that's a crucial thing. If you are kind of trying to learn it yourself, if it's intuitive, great, but if not, make sure you try to beef up on as many certifications as possible. The next is Receipt Bank, and this one is from Jody Linick of FitBooks Pro. And Jody says, tool to manage receipts and vendor bills. Post your expenses in Receipt Bank, and then they show up as a match in QBO along with an image of the receipt. Easy phone app for clients to use to snap pictures of their receipts on the go. They love it, with an exclamation mark. Okay, number 22, we're getting through this here, is SaaSant. So this one is from Megan Guinness-Turno of the Mobius Group. And Megan says, SaaSant uses Excel to add or update QuickBooks transactions. We use it to modify transaction fields that are not available in the bulk reclassify tool, such as customer, project, or location. We also use it with our nonprofit clients to allocate salaries and shared cost allocations. The next is ShareFile. This is by Citrix, and this one is from Randy Johnston of K2 Enterprises. Randy says provides an easy to use and set up a portal. Transferring files and making them seamlessly available on a mobile device is a real benefit. Files were formerly attached to email or other sharing tool was used. Now the one tool serves multiple functions. So you might want to compare this to Dropbox or BoxNet or even Google Files. There are pros and cons to using all these kinds of file sharing services. The next is Slack. If you're not using Slack today, just go ahead and pause here and check it out. I'm not going to say this about any other tool, even BizPayO. If there's any tool on this list, I highly recommend it's Slack. It cuts down on email. Our internal team uses Slack. We have many of our customers that use Slack. We have integration for Slack. So by all means, check it out. Bottom line, let's hear from Richard Roper Roberts of Quasar Cowboy. Richard says, saves me 3 hours per day because I have trained all clients to communicate there. Bingo. I do not check email or spend time in my inbox other than once a day now. It reduces the amount of emails and staff can collaborate with me without being involved. It gives me insight into what's going on and where to follow up, and has a powerful search to track down history and full information, ensuring that we provide optimal customer service. This allows even remote employees to feel they are working together in real time. And we have actually a lot of other responses about Slack. So like I said, I highly encourage you to check it out. The next is Smartsheet. And Smartsheet is, let's hear it from Seth David of Nerd Enterprises. I love that name. Seth says, Smartsheet allows me to customize and track any kind of project and task. I can also create automated workflows, all in a spreadsheet-like environment. When it comes to workflows with Smartsheet, if I can conceive it, I can create it, period. Smartsheet is awesome. You can kind of compare it to like Google Sheets on steroids or Excel on steroids. I've used it myself. It's a great tool, so check it out. The next, number 26, is ShortPrep 1040 Scan. So this is might be more for tax professionals, and this comes from Sandy McRae of McRae Associates. And Sandy says, allows reduced manual input for the production of 1040 and 1041 tax returns. We manually input less than 10% for these types of returns. Now we use lower cost employees to scan documents and verification of the information. Manual input and overall review took about double the time. We now have time savings and more accurate information in the returns with better work paper documents. 27 is Right Networks Custom Cloud. They were formerly called Eccentric. This one is from Kelly Watson of Watson Kuhn Ryan LLC. She says, "This is our cloud provider. It allows me to have access to my office desktop from any computer at any location." So this is a cloud. If you use Citrix, it's basically a desktop tool similar to that. Number 28 is Xero. So another major player in the accounting industry, and nothing but good news about Xero. We love it. This is from Shirley Liu of Reliable, and she says, "Xero is a one-stop shop for an accountant. It allows me to send invoices to clients and receive payments. Xero is also integrated with many other apps that help automate data entries for bookkeeping clients. As a certified advisor with Xero, I also get to use their practice management tool for free. This tool is amazing because I can use it as a time tracker to improve my productivity, and it shows me how profitable each of my engagements is." Number 29, Zapier. I'll just give this a personal shout out too. Zapier is amazing. We use it internally. Anytime I talk about tools, I always begin the conversation with Zapier. It's essentially a tool that you can connect mostly any other app with. So again, we use it at BizPayO. You can use Zapier to connect BizPayO with your marketing automation tools, your email, Slack. It's just a well thought of tool that saves a lot of time. So this is from Heather Satterley of Satterley Training and Consulting, and she says, "It allows me to connect disparate applications used in my firm's workflow to automate processes. The easy-to-use, no-code platform connects 80% of the apps I use to complete my work and automates mundane data entry tasks that were previously done manually." The key word here is no code. You don't have to know how to code to connect these apps. It's one of the beautiful things about Zapier. She continues to say, "Zapier saves me time because it eliminates double entry of the same data into multiple systems and automatically completes tasks without human intervention." Okay, the last on the list, last but certainly not least, is Zoho Assist. And this is from Crystal Alford of Accrual. And she says, "Zoho Assist is a remote support tool. It enables me to provide immediate remote assistance to my clients who need QuickBooks help. I simply open Zoho Assist and enter my client's email address to send them a link to start a support session. I am able to see their screen and remotely connect to their screen. We can also easily exchange files within the platform. It has made my virtual meetings a breeze. Using other online meeting platforms, we were not able to easily able to exchange files or troubleshoot issues. This has been the most efficient tool to do so." And that's a wrap. If you want the full guide, you can actually go to our blog article to download that, and we have some other notes as well on the pros and cons of these all these tools. So, like I said, check out the article. I'm including it at the link of the bottom of this email, and hope you got some useful information out of this.